Hello, my name is Shadley, and welcome back for another episode of Agrarianism as Korea. In previous episode, we managed to pass the voting law, now at the wealth voting, and we are also pretty optimistic about passing the Agrarianism now, which is going to be really good for us. That's also going to allow us to change taxation laws, possibly, and so many other things, so this is going to be actually really massive for us. Now, our GDP has been growing a little bit. We started the last episode at, I think, 10.3 million. So it's a decent growth in there, I suppose. Prestige is slowly increasing, and actually, how we're looking on the fine arts, there's a decent bit available. I don't know where exactly the pop comes. I mean, there's almost 2 being consumed by pops. So I'm guessing it's, while we are paying for the upkeep of this, and yeah, it's a little bit extra cost there. It's at least, yeah, there's a little bit of consumption for it, but not too much. Locally, there's almost a 0.3 actually, okay. Let's have a look at the local prices for over here for arts then. So there's a consumption of 0.24 over here. So yeah, it's probably a lot of local populations consuming that. We did get the fleet or naval bases now built. We can pay off some of the debt. And then the private sector is currently building some paper mills, and coal mines, another tobacco plantation. And the Chinese are building some coal mines and logging camps. Which of course is kind of a little bit of a problem for us, because they are then owning more and more of the buildings in our nation. Which means that our Liberty Desire will probably have even more problems to hold on to. Yeah, they got 3 times the prestige right now, so we've got quite a bit of work to do to catch up on them. How much do we get? We got 5 points from the naval power production already. The armor power production is not very high yet. We can probably work on that one a little bit, of course. So why is it spreading in the production by enemy? Oh, nitroglycerin, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. That's going to allow us to have even better explosive production, I suppose. There's also a high chance of discovering resource, although I don't know if there's any resource to discover in my territories. I'm pretty sure there is not. No, there isn't. Against the odds. Do I want to anger the rule folk? Armed forces and scholars, I think, actually, that's the, oh, that's radicals, that is pretty nice. You know, we'll get a little bit more radicals, I suppose, that's kind of fine. And then we got the Foreign Manifesto for homesteading. You know what, yeah. I don't mind getting a little bit more support for it. If now the landowners don't oppose the change there, don't know if they will, but I guess that's one way to find out. Oh no, they do still strongly oppose homesteading. Never mind then. Well, at least we can get some better laws in the meanwhile. So how's the investment pool is dropping quite drastically. Now, if we can pass the agrarianism in, like, due time here, we will actually be able to then get a lot more money into the investment pool. Well, there's election season. Okay, so yeah, the amount of votes that we had last time around are were a lot larger, let's just say. Looks like the Conservative Party is still going to be getting... last election they got 65%, now they might be getting 59%. Now there is time for things to shuffle around a little bit, but it's still going to be a little bit tricky for the other groups to actually gain foothold. Fruitful endorsement. Liberal Party, you know what, yeah, we'll take that. Ooh, there we go, we're getting a fertilizer plant in the northeast. Very nice. French military consultants. You know what, sure. I'll take that. Because that means even faster spread of the military checks. That's going to be very useful, actually. Although it might not be actually that massive increase in there. It will help. Now, I suppose the next thing is going to be realism, which does mean that we can actually get even more art going. Maybe. So the private sector is building the logging camp and iron mine. Those are going to be done fairly shortly. How are we looking on debt? We've got still 850,000. We'll probably go ahead and build another... Actually, how are we looking on the tax losses? It's almost back to 33,000. But the amount of bureaucracy that we have available has been improving. That's definitely good. How are we looking on innovation? We are producing up to... Yeah, actually, let's go and build up the university over here, shall we? It's going to take a little bit of time to build, but it's not too bad. Yeah, it's about 16 weeks, so that's fine. Police brutality. How's the petite bourgeoisie? So that's the loan interest rate if we get them... Well, I would have to reach 10. That's not going to happen. We're going to drop in that, and then we're going to just immediately start increasing again. It's going to be lower for a little while, but that means that the rural folk are going to be very happy, which means more infrastructure, which is quite nice, actually. In Agrarianism, we're still at the drafting phase, so that's going to take a little while, I'm afraid. We could still have... the max innovation, yeah, is already gone past what we can produce. We're not too far behind that, though. Parties, including Agrarian Party, are struggling to raise enough funds for all the campaigning needs this election. Do we want to pay some... No, we'll pay a little bit for them. I do want them to get a bit more power, so that we can then start chipping away the things that the Conservative Party is trying to hold on to. Start improving the laws a little bit. So, luckily, now the amount of debt that we incur while we're building is actually a bit less, and the... paying 15.7 thousand for the diplomatic pact. Our GDP is 12.4 million. That's still got a lot of room to improve, that's for sure. But the iron mine is underway. We'll get the university done before that. And then immediately afterwards, the iron mine will be completed. Then the logging camp should probably not take too long. The fertilizer plant was going to be very handy, but that's going to take a little bit longer as well. How is the investment pool? It is 1.3 million. It's slowly growing right now, but it is a fairly small growth there in the end. But there we go. Realism is going to be done fairly shortly. We did change already the farms to use the fertilizer. And who's winning the election? Okay, so Agrarian Party is going to have about a quarter of the vote. But together, those could actually... Well, it might be a little bit of too much. The Secession of Manchuria. Oh, Tungus uprising. Right. Well, that's none of my business. Still losing £6,000 per week. But again, we are below 1 million. That's kind of why I want to keep it. Like, we will probably have quite a bit of debt overall. Ooh, there we go. More prestige. Don't know how much increase that is going to actually have. Let's go ahead and switch the... where's the Arts Academy? Over here. So realistic art. That's going to increase the paper consumption a little bit. And we could maybe go for bourgeoisie. Actually, so currently it's employing academics, clerks, and laborers. So less clerks, more academics. Oh, right. So it changes the employment. We could go for independent artists, to be fair. Less clerks, more academics. You know what? Yeah, we'll go for that one. But that probably means that the Arts Academy over here is... well, they need to hire some more people now. They do produce 5 arts, and the total consumption on the market is 2 point something. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of overabundance of art in the market right now. Oh, nationalism spreading. Okay, that's going to be very nice. That's going to mean even more authority. We'll queue that one up, and we'll get the logistics hopefully quickly. And I mean, that's a bit more than a year we'll have it. Oh, Prussian investments. Obligation to Prussia and tech spread for production. Sure. Commander commence civic coalition. You know what? Yeah, he can do what I want. And that does mean that the Conservative Party is going to get a pretty good chunk of the votes again. 61%. Let's have a look at the... actually, we can keep it as is, because that's going to be the highest legitimacy that we'll have out of the options. I still want to make sure that the Agrarianism is actually moving forward. Right now, we haven't really gotten actually that much boost for the chances, but we're getting a lot of good events at least, so that's good. And we're paying the debt back by £7,000 per week, so we can probably get that down to 800,000, then do another construction, let it go down a little bit further, and eventually we might actually not have to pay any interest per week, which would be very handy. That might actually be just about enough to us then keep on constructing government stuff constantly. And there we go, we're at 13 million GDP, 13.2 million actually already. That'll be quite handy indeed. Now, how are we looking on the... Okay, so lead mine is not hiring quite enough people. I mean, it's not the worst situation there, to be fair. We did get the university built, so innovation is now capped up again. We can go up to 81 now. So we will, of course, need to build more and more universities, but that's at least keeping us okay with the research speed. Well, mostly okay. The agrarianism is still going to take a while. But I think we shall get that... Actually, how long does it take per... Okay, it's another 90 days, so it does take quite a while there. We got a little bit extra bureaucracy. How are we looking on the wasted taxes? It's still 33,000. And the investment pool is still dropping rather quickly. There's still 850,000 in credit. I might go ahead... Well, actually, what I'm going to let them do is complete the logging camp at least. Oh, they are finally getting a furniture manufacturer. Brilliant. So what we are going to do with that... That's probably going to be further up here, isn't it? Yeah, so we're going to put in the lathes in there. I will also put the luxury furniture production. I don't want to go for the full-on luxury furniture because there's not going to be enough demand for it, really. So there we go. £8,000 per week profit. We'll get it to 800,000. We'll build another government administration, probably. Let's just double check which state doesn't need the most. Yangho. So that's actually the southwestern one is the highest drop in there. Now, to be fair, Yeongnam, the southeastern state, is the highest percentage-wise, but the actual taxation there isn't that massive. So we'll focus down on the areas where we can get kind of the most benefit out of it, I suppose, right now, or at least it's the highest tax lost due to the population and all that. We are at 19.5 million in population, mind you, so that has been growing quite a bit. We should be getting, in about a month, we'll get another roll on Agrarianism. Hopefully we'll get that to the voting, and then pass that through. I mean, we have gotten a lot of good events, mind you, but I wouldn't mind getting actual progress on the law as well, because that would be quite handy. Okay, so we are at 780,000. The interest rate is below £5,000 per week, so that's good. Little by... Oh, right, we did get the logging camp already, so let's go ahead and build that government administration now. So why is it spreading in the... Oh, right, it was the nitroglycerin that is spreading in the production. The Lotus is getting a lot of stuff now. Oh, there we go. I finally got it to the voting, and now it's still over 1 in 3 chance to actually pass the law next time. It's going to take another 140 days. Oh dear, mining accident. You know what? Zhangzhe, we might go for the rule folk, get them a little bit more pro-attraction. Because that might still eat on the support for the landowners a bit further. May not be a huge amount, but I'm sure that it will help. We also still need to get the steel mill to level 4, but that might take a while. That middle, we probably could give it a bit of a boost, but again, according to our sort of rules for this run, we are going to have to sell those buildings if we do it with the construction, or the government construction. But that's not really the biggest issue. It's just going to take a little bit longer. 10 more weeks for the government administration. In that time, the fertilizer plant will be most of the way completed. And then that will be completed pretty quickly. Then the furniture manufacturer will start going full speed. Oh, wow, there's a massive amount of foreign stuff being built. Mostly by the government, actually. Okay, I mean, if they really want to do a lot of construction in our nation, I suppose it will increase our GDP. Speaking of which, how much is on the Chinese side? It's 88.4 million. 88.6 million now. They do have quite a bit, 474 prestige, so catching up to that is going to be rather tricky. I don't know if we'll achieve independence in this run, but we'll definitely give it a go. Now, to be fair, we don't have to get independence, but it will be tricky otherwise. But at least the fertilizer plant will be done soon. That's going to allow us to fix some of the fertilizer issues in the market, because we've got relatively high demand for it at this point. It's going to cover most of the demand. I mean, it's going to be 90... also that we'll get from it. So it's not necessarily going to be completely fixing the issue, but it will definitely release or relieve some of the pressure from that. We still need a bit more iron production, among other things, and it looks like the groceries are still in a bit of a demand. But getting the furniture manufacturer will definitely help a long way. Already 12.9 million. I think we did hit... Oh, law enforcement back to level 3. There we go. We did hit 13 million already before, but we've dropped a little bit now. But how's the investment pool? It's still over 1 million. And now that we've completed our construction work, that's no longer costing us money, so we're paying back the loan about 7,000. Oh, yeah, about 7,000 per week. Now 7,500 actually. And 3 more weeks for the fertilizer plant, then the furniture manufacturer will be done in due time after that. It does cost 600, whereas the fertilizer is 800 construction total, so it takes a little bit longer. Well, it's about, what, extra 4 weeks with the full construction speed? No, extra 8 weeks, sorry. Because there's 200-point difference there. So they've got, oh, wow, that's a lot of logging camps and iron mines being built in our nation. I mean, to be fair, it does mean that there's going to be a lot more availability in the market. And, oh, students rally for homesteading. You know what? Sure. Now it's 48% support for the law. The landowners are still going to be probably pretty pissed, although maybe once we pass the agrarianism, there's going to be enough support that they won't be radicalized. Oh, no. This got within the armed forces, but their support this bill's not passed, so now we've got 52% chance. We can do this, and we're about to get the logistics researched. There we go. I do wonder what is going to... Oh, wow, Russia's having a revolution. Oh, yeah, they are. Aristocrats are a bit uppity there. Well, that's probably not great for them. Portugal's having a revolution as well, actually. I wonder if they'll actually call me into that war. Well, speak of the devil. I guess we can give them a bit of hand. Not gonna annex anything quite yet. But we might go ahead and... Oh, round size with Russia. Okay, that's handy. But there's... Oh, wow, there's a lot of nations supporting. I have a feeling that my support is not necessarily needed. Like, I'm gonna be in the war. Oh, and Russia is... Oh, not Russia. Finland is having a revolt. Capitalist revolt and that. That's gonna keep them a bit busy. Right, how we're looking on the private sector. So the cotton plantation will be done fairly shortly. The furniture manufacturer will take a little bit longer. Then we'll get another tooling workshop. We are paying off the debt at £8,000 per week, so we might go ahead and build something else again. How about we actually go ahead and increase the army size a little bit further? We'll use the line infantry because we don't have the required things being built yet. Get 5 more battalions. That's going to hopefully increase our prestige a tiny bit further. Not necessarily enough. But at least get us closer to like 150, then try to get to 200. And slowly but surely crawl our way up towards what Jing has. Which is going to be a lot more. They got 500 already, so that is about 3 times what we have in prestige. But yeah, I'm probably not going to raise up my troops yet. If the situation gets really dire for the Russians, then we might go ahead and send in a bit of help there. But beyond that, we're not going to do much about that. We are... Even with the construction, we were getting briefly some more money. The investment pool is still increasing. We've got 50% chance... Oh, no bread, no freedom. Yeah, we'll get a bit more minimum wage then, I suppose. Well, there we go. We're already 36 battalions. We got 4 more being built. And the war has started. There's fairly high support for homesteading. And I do wonder, once we pass the agrarianism, it might... Oh, actually, the landowners are pretty happy currently. They still oppose the region change from land voting than wealth voting, but that is actually going downwards. Okay, but there is a good chance that we'll actually be able to then pass the homesteading, which would be quite handy, actually. So, how bad is the fighting in here? There is at least one fight there. Oh, the aristocrats are actually winning that battle. And that battle. Because they're defending. Oh, popular playwright. I'm gonna say the extra prestige for it's only a few years, but that is gonna get us a little bit closer to maybe reduce the liberty desire a bit further. I can't do any actions there, unfortunately. But if we do have a look at the the prestige, they've got still more than 3 times what we have. It's at least slowing down a little bit because the low liberty desire is already, or our liberty desire is already fairly low. So I'm not entirely sure if I entirely like this change, because you know, you're kind of stuck at times without any way of getting your independence. But at the same time, it also kind of prepares you the fact that you're not going to try to declare independence war or try to get your independence if you're not prepared for it. Like, if you are utterly unprepared, like maybe we might have been in the previous playthrough, then you won't be able to try to get independence either. I don't suppose we've got artillery foundries yet. No, I don't think so. Well, the private sector is building another art academy, apparently. Is there now demand for fine arts, then? Well, I wouldn't say that. The price is still pretty low, but I suppose it's slowly increasing. We did get the furniture workshop already. How are we looking on the debt? We've got 850,000. We can probably let that go down a little bit, and then we'll build something again. How are we looking on the wasted taxes? Still almost 33,000. But once we get rid of the traditional ones, that's actually going to fix a decent chunk of it. So we might be getting, even just with this change, we'll get a lot more money into the investment pool. And we'll also be getting a lot more money in taxes. Of course, we've got fairly high taxes already, so all the taxation capacity rather is increased, which is going to be very, very crucial for us. Resource boom. Sure, we'll get a bit more throughput. We're already at 13.5 million. It's probably going to go down once and then start going up. Oh no. Go militia in default. Finland's having some issues. Alright then. 10 to 13... Oh, okay, now 9 to 11 weeks for the nitroglycerin. And the innovation is still... Oh, it's just hit 80. We can go up to... I thought we should be able to get to 80.1, but no, it's... Or 81 or something, but no, it's 80.1. I really thought it would be higher than that. I suppose we could always increase the university in our capital. Or maybe the one over... Well, that's already level 5. That's only level 1 in the southwest over here. The paper price is a bit high, though. We might want to hold off on that at least a little while. And there we go. Below 800,000 in debt again. That's going to be pretty good. come on, we just need another 30 days for the Agrarianism, hopefully. I mean, it should be pretty likely to actually pass at this point. Looks like the Russians are indeed having some issues on the front line in here. Yeah, the aristocrats do have some more stuff in there, but are they now... They are now doing the attacking on some of the stuff there. Yeah, the French are getting beaten back. Well, I mean, if the aristocrats win, I don't really mind that. I'm just doing my obligation by being nominally in the war, but not spending money on anything. Right, so we got the nitroglycerin. Why is this going to... Oh, embassy to Great Britain. For 2 years, we can get export to society. You know what? I'll take it. Now, production. What are we getting? Oh, right. So production. Oh, chemical bleaching. That's going to be pretty good. And then military will be getting the field works. I don't know what I will get in society after that. I want to make sure that we get the chemical bleaching with. That's going to allow us to get much more paper, and that is going to be big. Right, we're less than 750,000 in debt, so that's good. We could probably go out and build something again. We don't usually need too much more bureaucracy, but at the same time, the extra taxation would be quite useful. On the other hand, we could just go out and build another railway, maybe down here in the southeast this time around. It will cost us a decent chunk of money, but at the same time, well, is it what, 32 weeks or something like that? Yeah, 32 weeks total, so 32 times about 5 or 6,000. Yeah, it's going to be a decent bit, but it's going to be below 1 million. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and pass the Agrarianism before that. And the tooling workshop will be done fairly shortly. Arts Academy is going to take a little bit of time still. Well, after that, it's going to take a little bit more time. We'll get another glasswork, actually, as well. Oh, there we go. At least the aristocrats are also taking some casualties. If we have a look at the total war... Okay, so the Russian side of things are already in a pretty bad situation. They've lost... well, actually, both sides have lost quite a bit of wounded. The aristocrats are actually paying more for things. I suppose now that they are on the offensive, maybe? The aristocrats, that is. And there is a chance that our side will actually start taking a lot more victories. And thus, the aristocrats will start losing a lot more troops. They don't have any fleets, mind you. So that's at least a bit of a relief there. How much more could we have? Okay, so yeah, the innovation is probably more or less capped out right now. We did not start building a university yet, did we? No, we did not. Oh, we're going to get another textile mill and a lot more resource buildings over here, thanks to the Chinese. We're still at 13.3 million in GDP. Would hope to get that a little bit higher, but I'm pretty sure that once we pass the Agrarianism, that's going to start changing very rapidly. Oh, something was moving through very quickly. We'll probably need to get a railway up here in Guamburg as well. Not necessarily something that we need desperately, but it will probably help in the long run for sure. Now, how's the world looking like? Okay, there's a revolution in India. Of course, France and many others are fighting against the Russian Revolution over here. What about in America? How's the situation? So that hasn't really changed too much. Brazil is still split in two. Argentina and Chile have been colonizing further south. And Bolivia is, I believe, colonizing some... Actually... Oh, Argentina is colonizing down here. Paraguay, not so much. It looks like the... revolution has actually already occupied 2 states in the Caucasus. And we now have Agrarianism, finally. Now, how is the investment pool increasing? Oh! Well, we're building right now, but yeah, that's quite an increase there. So if we were to try pass homesteading, there would be quite a bit of support for it. The landowners would oppose that, but they are not going to get radicalized by it. I think we're going to take that then, because we've got a fairly good chance of passing it. Ah, now we don't have enough influence for everything. Actually, what are we using the influence for? Maybe we'll just stop improving relations with the Russians for now. Make sure we've got a little bit extra in there. And even though we're construction, we're still making money. Okay, we were making money for a brief moment there. So that wasn't the case. But oh, there we go. The investment pool is increasing very quickly. 17,000 there. And our GDP did hit 13.8 million there briefly. We are going to need a bit more bureaucracy, mind you. But that's something that we can probably work on. How's the... Oh, there we go. The unrealized tax is only 21,000 now, or about 22,000. But that is pretty significant. Guampu can actually almost do all the taxation they need there. So, Zhangzhou and Yongnam. Young Ho are the three that we need to work most on fixing the issues. It's actually porcelain tax compared to the luxury clothing. That's 3,000. So actually we can remove that tax and put the luxury clothing instead. It's going to be another 500. So there we go. The interest rate is still fairly high. But I suspect that once we stop constructing ourselves, that's going to be another about £5,000 what we'll be paying of regularly. Of course, that's partially because the bureaucracy is having some issues. We might go ahead and... Oh, is that one? Right, that's capped out at 20. For both of these. Oh, right, because it's taking only half of it. Yeah, no, that makes a lot more sense. So not paying as much ourselves anymore. We're actually getting to the point where we might actually start increasing the construction speed total then. Get that to like 50 at least. But yeah, innovation is something we do need to increase. Homesteading, while the landowners are going to be a little busy. Oh, right, the tax income's dropped quite a bit because of that. So I'm guessing the laws, if we have a look at the taxation, if we weren't passing the homesteading, we might be able to get the per capita taxation. Proportional taxation would also be quite nice, but capita taxation already would make quite a difference in the income. And nationalism is improving. Do we still have the... How bad is the interest rates? It's still pretty high. Yeah, we haven't really done much to reduce that, unfortunately. Not yet, at least. We've got 900,000 in debt, but that is... well, the railway is going to be done soon. Looks like the aristocrats are actually starting to lose some war support a bit further than what they were previously. The dead and wounded are fairly similar. Oh, well, there's nationalism. Let's go ahead and put another tax then. I'll put the porcelain tax in. So actually now even construction we're all... Oh, and low progress of drafting already with the homesteading. Okay. So even with the construction we're only slightly losing money. The investment pool is increasing by 20,000 per week right now, even though they are doing construction work. So I think it might be time to get us some more construction sectors. Get one over here in the northwest. Then we'll get another one in maybe in our capital. We've got two in there already. Maybe we'll get one in the southwest then. There's the western states that are going to have a lot more industries and such. Gold belligerent in default. Finland's all again having some monetary issues. Now, to be fair, they were fighting their own revolution there, but yeah, things aren't necessarily all that great. The French are defending quite admirably in there. And petitioning the government to pass a land of voting. How bad is their approval? It's -6. We could offer them protectionism. Yeah, that's actually not bad, because we want to pass that anyway. That's going to allow us to finally do some trading. We don't have a lot of convoys to do trading with. But regardless, we can at least start fixing some of the issues in our market. Although, speaking of which, how's the... okay, oil is in very high demand. There's quite a bit of hardwood demand as well. Steel output is needed a bit further. We're getting the construction sectors now. And after that, the private sector can do all the construction work for us, which means that the investment pool is going to start probably diminishing a little. Well, actually, I don't know. It might still be increasing. In which case, we may need to increase the construction even further. But I guess we'll give it a few moments to figure out how much it's going to be changing there. But right now, the private sector is building a glassworks, and then textile mill, food industries, a lot of good stuff actually in there. And that construction sector is going to be done very, very shortly. We might need to, well, let the debt be paid for a few moments at least. I think that's probably going to be pretty decent. Oh yeah, they're doing a lot of construction work now. So how's the investment pool looking? It is actually still growing. Although we're not fully on the construction speeds yet. There's still a bit more increase in there that needs to happen. Oh, there we go. Low progress to voting already. So homesteading will be done very shortly. That's going to start reducing the landowners' power even further. They're now about a quarter of the clout in the nation, but that's still something that we want to... Oh, and oh, capitulation. Ah, there we go. The revolt is over. So we're no longer in the war. That's good. There we go. We're £9,000 per week. So in 100 weeks, we would be debt-free, but we are probably going to have to do some more production because or construction work, because we're actually losing quite a bit of taxes because of the insufficient... Actually, so I do wonder. Yeah, there's some of the tax waste that is happening. So let's go ahead and get another administration building up here. It's going to cost us a little bit, and the construction is going to take a while. But now we can still do a full-on construction for the class work here. as well as the government administration building, so that's going to be pretty good. And then textile mill, fruit industry, another logging camp. That would be quite handy, actually. But I do see that we are actually out of time with this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll show you the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and next time, bye-bye.